So Luke 12:13 all the way through 34. I'm going to read all of those verses. This is from the ESV version. It says, someone in the crowd said to him, this is Jesus, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." But Jesus said, "Man, who made me judge or arbiter over you?" And he said to them, "Take care and be on your guard against all covetousness, for one's life doesn't consist of the abundance of his possessions." So this brother is trying to get Jesus to be on his side. And instead of getting in this dispute and being their referee, he says, "No, I'm just going to get right down to the heart of the matter. I don't really care who gets your inheritance. That really doesn't matter to me, because you aren't identified by how much you have. This is not what matters to me. What actually matters to me is, what do you care about? And you're revealing to me right now that you care about possessions. That's your greatest need, your greatest importance when you come and talk to me, Jesus, is who's going to get everything when my dad dies. That's really what I care about the very most. And Jesus is like, this is not the most important thing. Jesus knows that wanting something that someone else has is only going to cause problems in a relationship anyway, right? This is just causing division between this man and his brother. And it's not worth it. And so after he tells this brother that it's not worth it, these are not the things that matters, he tells him this parable. And so this is Luke 12, beginning in verse 16. And so Jesus told them this parable and said, "The land of a rich man produced plentifully, and he thought to himself, 'What should I do? For I have nowhere to store my crops.' And he said, 'Okay, this is what I'll do. I'll tear down my barns, and I'll build bigger ones, and there I will store all the grain and all my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have ample goods laid up for yourself for years. Relax, eat, drink, and be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool, this night your soul is desired of you, and the things that you have prepared, whose will they be?' So is it to the one that lays up treasures for himself and is not rich towards God." And then he said to his disciples, "Therefore I tell you, don't be anxious about your life, what you're going to eat, or about your body, what you're going to put on. For life is more than food, and the body is more than clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouses nor barns, and yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than birds? Which of you, being anxious, can add a single hour to the span of his life? If you then are not able to do as small of a thing as that, then why are you anxious about the rest?" He's like, you can't do anything about this anyway. What are you concerned about? "Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory wasn't arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass, which is alive in the field today and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? Do not seek what you are to eat or what you are to drink. Don't be worried. For all the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek his kingdom, and then these things will be added to you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions, give to the needy. Provide yourselves with money bags that don't grow old, with a treasure in the heavens that doesn't fail, where no thief approaches and no moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And so the treasures of the heart, that's what Jesus wants this brother and us to be concerned with. The eternal treasures, the things that actually matter. He said, you're worrying about the wrong things. You're worrying about an inheritance. And then he gives this parable and says, not only do I not want you to worry about the riches of this world, the riches that your Father may be giving to you, I want you not to even worry about what you're going to eat or what you're going to wear. Concern yourself more with God's kingdom and his righteousness. And then he'll make sure you have everything you need. No, you may not have everything that your neighbor has. That's true. But you'll have everything you need. God will provide for you. He knows your needs and he will provide for you. So trust him in that, and then place your mind, your thoughts on the things of God. Treasure those things. Those things matter the most. If you're like that guy in that other parable where he says, oh, look at all the things I have. I need to build bigger barns and then I'll have all this stuff and I'll store it all up and then I'll be able to sit down and relax. That is something we covet, right? We want to build up our wealth so that we can retire, be done, get a little bit of rest, go play a little bit of golf, read a book, put up your feet, right? This is what we desire. And God says, if that's all that you're investing in, if you're spending all your time trying to store up for yourself riches on this earth so that you can put up your feet, then you may not make it to that time. And so instead, store up for yourself treasures in heaven. That means invest in your character. Invest in others. Learn about me. Know me. Build your relationship with me so that when you go to heaven and you're living your whole entire life with me, then you're enjoying it because you've been spending all this time with me anyway, and you get to heaven and you are joyous for that. And when I see you, I can say, you did good. You did good things on this earth. This is what really matters. Right now, it feels like these things matter, especially if you really are lacking clothes or food. These things seem to matter. Or if you're exhausted and you really just cannot wait to retire and get a little bit of rest, these things do matter. But God is trying to say these things are temporary. They're just temporary. And really what matters is eternity. And when you're living with me forever, your relationship with me, that's what matters. And then what you've done with the things that I gave you on this earth, I'm going to care about those things. And since you're going to be living with me forever, you want to care about the things that I care about. And so the things of this earth are not going to matter in the end. When we die, all that's going to matter is what we've stored up towards God. Psalm 49:17 says, for when he dies, he will carry nothing away. His glory will not go down after him. None of these things are going to matter in the end. They really are just temporary. If our affections are on him instead of on these things, then he'll provide all of these things, but we will also have treasures stored up for us in heaven. And then also catch this part where he says, this is verse 32, fear not, little flock, for your Father's good pleasure is to give you his kingdom. It pleases God to give us gifts, but the gifts that we seek and the gifts that really matter, the ones that he knows we need, those are different. And so God is going to bless us, but he wants us to focus on the right things. And so he says, don't worry about these things and definitely don't store them up. Give to other people that are in need. Share. Look to me. Seek after me. And then you'll have everything you need, and then you'll have treasures for eternity. Proverbs 21:26. He covets greedily all day long, but the righteous give, and they do not spare. The righteous don't hold back. They're not greedy for the things. But somebody that wants and isn't satisfied with what they have, they're going to want more and more and more and more. They're never going to be satisfied anyway. We store up the things that are in heaven. Those things can't be taken from us. Those things are lasting, unlike the physical, temporary things of this earth. Matthew 16:24-26. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what profit is it of a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul?" Whatever we spend our time, our money, our energy on is where our treasure is. And so he says, there's no point in spending your time, money, and energy on the things of this earth, because when you desire all of these things, you're denying your soul. You're denying the things that you need for eternity. What's the point if you gain all of this stuff but you don't have a relationship with Jesus? No point at all.